Hey, welcome back. So in the last tutorial, we got our boost started and we have a functional boost. Our player will now speed up whenever we hit the shift button and start the boost. However, there is no stopping. So if we hold it down, you can boost forever. And there's also no visual sign that we're boosting. What we're going to do is we're going to set up the blueprint and the HUD so that we can now see it feed into a little bar on the HUD and see it go down as we boost, and then once it gets to 0, we'll stop boosting. So let me show you what that's going to look like. Okay, so this is what we did last time, minus some of these additional nodes, and we'll start to add those in when we're ready for them. But we're going to work mostly on this part right here so that we will boost. We can see what it looks like. So we're going to put a couple print strings in here, test some things out, and then be able to boost. So if I go here in my play button, in my demo, and hit play, and hold the W and go forward, and then hit the boost button, you can see that I get some boosting happening, and my little bar down in the lower left-hand corner goes down, and then when I let go, it comes back up. We are not going to be working on the refill for this section. We will be adding the refill in on the next tutorial. There's just an awful lot to this, and so we're going to try to cut these down into bite-sized bits. So let's go ahead and get started. Open up your player blueprint and go to the section where we worked on boost. The other thing we're going to need to do is we're going to need to open up our widget, and we're going to get to that in a second, but we'll go ahead and open our widget up and open up our HUD. So, and then down here we'll add in the boost. And we'll come back to that in a second. Let's get everything else set up first because we don't have any of the functionality built in to this blueprint just yet. All right, so let's remove this print string, and that node so that we're basically back like this. We don't need those in here for right now. And what we're going to do is we're going to add first another variable, of course. Always need more variables, right? So I'm going to hit the plus symbol, and the variable that we're going to need is going to be a float. Because I haven't closed this project out from the last time, it opened up as a float for me. You may have to change it. And we're going to create a boost remaining variable. And it's going to be a float. This boost remaining is going to go into our boost category, which we created last time. And then we're going to need to compile it. So make sure you change it to float, put it in the right category, compile and save it. And then our boost remaining default is going to be 5. We're going to put a number of 5 in here, and that's going to be 5 seconds, basically. So we're going to put in 5. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull this out, and we're going to get boost remaining. And I'm going to put it out here just a little ways. The other thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to turn on the little eye so that we can adjust it later on if we wanted to. I'm going to hit compile, save that. We have our boost remaining right here. We're going to right click, and we're going to get a node called get world delta seconds right here. And we'll take a look to see what that looks like here in just a second. Now we're going to take the time remaining and we're going to subtract the, so minus, type in minus, and we're going to subtract the delta seconds. And then we're going to get another node here, pull off of that, and we're going to want the greater than. So use the greater than symbol. We want greater than or equals to, and we're going to leave it at 0. And of course, since we're doing a Boolean check, we're going to want a branch to make sure that it's either true or false. So I'm going to pull out from here, I'm going to type in and get a branch. And plug that in there. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to set boost remaining off of what the output is from here, because if we are still indeed above 0, we're going to want to subtract and reset boost remaining. So we're going to go down here. We're going to find our boost remaining. We're going to pull that out. and we're going to set it. Plug that in there. We're going to take from this node right here, and we're going to plug it in here as well. So on the other side of the minus button, we're going to subtract that out. Do something like that, okay? All right, so that's if it's true. If this condition is not true, then what we need to do is we need to set our dampening. So we're going to come over here and grab damping. We're going to set it. We're going to plug into here, and we're going to set this back to our default damping, which is what we created in the last tutorial. So we're going to get that. It should be 0.5. We're going to set that in there. And this is where we're going to also set linear damping. So set linear damping for the player right there. And the output from this is what's going to go into there. Now, one of the things we're going to throw in here real quick, just to see what this looks like for the delta seconds, is we're going to do a print string. So if we pull out from that node and we type in print string, it'll automatically plug that in for us. And then we're going to want to take these delta seconds here and plug it into there. We're going to get this little funky node there, and we're going to compile and save it. Now, we're going to hit play back in our world. And if I move forward and then hit the shift button, we should see those numbers popping up on the left-hand side, and we've got our damping happening, and 5 seconds must have gone by because now we subtracted it, and we're slowed back down. If we let off, nothing's going to happen because it's still going to be set at 0. Okay. So let's just verify that that is indeed what's happening, because what you saw on the left-hand side, and let me actually jump back in here and talk through this real quick. The numbers that you were seeing on the left-hand side when I was holding this down, those are frame delta seconds. So what we're doing basically is subtracting the 0.01 from our boost, and is slowly going down, so that over time it will get to 0, and then we'll stop boosting. All we needed, and the reason why we're using world delta seconds, which if you hover over it, it explains what it is. It's the frame delta time in seconds. And all we really needed was something that would give us a number that we could subtract against. And it does not need to be a large number, because we're trying to reduce this slowly, so kind of give us a countdown look on our little time bar, right? So our little bar that we're going to reduce the numbers on. And you'll see how this works. But let's just verify that it is indeed going down the way we want it to. So if we connect this back up, I'm going to go ahead and hold the Alt button and disconnect this node completely. So if you click on the little nodes, you hold the Alt button, and I'm going to put this back over here. I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to plug this into that little adjustment right there, compile it. Now if we jump back in and hit play, and we hold the shift button down, you'll see that the number is slowly counting down. And it's exactly what we want it to do, and it takes about 5 seconds for it to get to 0. And then once it's 0, it stops counting. If I let off again and hold it down again, it doesn't work because we didn't add anything back in to our boost yet. So that gives us a start to be able to put onto our HUD our boost indicator down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a progress bar. I'm going to drag that down into here, somewhere right around there. And I want it to kind of line up on the x-axis, and I also want it to be the same size as this one that's up here. So if I click on the one that's up here, my x position is 76. So I'm going to click that and change this to 76. And then I'm also going to make sure my anchor is now in the lower left-hand corner. The other thing I want to do is make sure it's the same size as far as the width and the length. So it's 416 and 40. So I'm going to just round this to 416 and then 40. So X and Y. And 40 is the default width on it already. Okay, so that gets that started. And this progress bar, I'm going to click back on it. This progress bar, we're going to call this boost bar. Okay. And we're going to need a text. So we're also going to grab this. I'm going to click and drag and drop it down here. Kind of drop it just underneath it. And if I take a look at the HUD example, I actually had the boost text on top. And we can see where this one is in alignment, so we can get it lined up. So the X is 80. So it's 80. All right, so that's good. Now we're going to want to change our font, just like we did before. And I'm going to want it to be the same size as the one I have here for my health. So my font for my health is 75. And I'm going to change it from text block to boost. Kind of pull this up just a little bit. Something like that. Change the color to a blue. And then on the progress bar, I'm going to want it to fill in the same blue. So it looks like it was maybe that one. I'm going to say OK. Oh, right. So now we've got it started. And for this, it already changed to boost. OK. So again, we're going to select the progress bar. We're going to come over here. And we're going to click on this little link right here next to percent. Because remember, we're going to want to change this percent. We're going to want to make it dynamic. So we're going to click here. We're going to create a new binding. And we're going to leave it get boost bar percent. That'll work just fine. Now, again, we're going to need to get our player. So if we right click, we're going to type in get player. And we already set this up before. Remember, we set this up in our blueprint functions library. So, and called my function list. And right here's the get player that we want. Now I've got the player. What I want is I want boost remaining. So we're going to get boost remaining. And I just realized we forgot one other thing. So let's compile and save this real quick. We're going to go back to our player. I'm going to save our player real quick. We do need to add yet another variable. And this variable is going to be another float. So we're going to hit plus, and this is going to be max boost time. So we're going to call this max boost time. We're going to compile and save it. We're going to add this into our boost. And the amount for our max boost time is going to be set at 5, because that's what our max boost time is. And we're going to go ahead and compile it and save it. We're going to jump back to our HUD real quick. And now we're going to pull out and we're going to get max boost time. Get max boost time. Just like before, in order to get a percentage, we're going to take what's remaining with our max to get our percent. So we're going to divide. Plug these two in. And that will be our return value. We're going to compile and we're going to save it. We jump back in and we hit play. And just like that, we have our boost bar down on the bottom. And if I move forward and then hold the shift button down, we should see the boost bar count down. And then once it's done, our player should start to slow down. All right. Now the boost does not come back because we haven't got that part of that functionality set up yet. All right. That is it for this tutorial. I just wanted to get in there and get this part of the functionality set up. Next tutorial, we'll finish up by getting our boost to be able to refill. And then either in that tutorial or maybe a short one after that, we'll add in the little fire that pops up behind the ball as we're moving along, so that we have a visual graphic representation that our player is boosting, something different than just rolling along the ground like it is right now. All right, again, if you liked the video, please make sure you hit the like down below, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time, and thanks for playing.